Okay then, so suppose we want to access GitHub. So we want to have a look at the sort of up-to-date Mizer code, or for some reason we want to install a previous version or whatever. So we're currently storing this code. My boss Gustav Delius is storing this code at his website. Whether this will remain, I'm not sure, but I shall put a link to where in the GitHub repository where Mizer is stored. And basically what we want to do is clone or download this, but it's best to do it through Git so one can access the full features of all this GitHub repository. So what we want to do, if you haven't already done it, is install Git. So if we go to Git downloads, and install it. So while that installs, I'll just close down our studio to see if it can sync up with Git properly when it's fully installed. Right then, so let's launch our studio again. Now if we go to Project, New Project, let's click Version Control. And we go to Git. Now it wants to know the URL where this file is going to be stored. So if we go back to our GitHub repository, we can just click Clone or Download, and this copies this URL where all the files are. So if we now paste this into this clone GitHub repository window, and we'll tell the computer where to find this. And create the project. Ah yes, and it's working. That's good. So here we are in this project. So if we now go to build and install and restart, that will, well, at least try and build the version of Mizer which is on GitHub, which can be a more up-to-date version of Mizer perhaps, depending on what's happening on the GitHub repository we've selected. Anyway, apparently we need some additional build tools. So R has to install various things like this so that it can build all the appropriate parts of the package. This is really the sort of do-it-yourself version of the kind of thing you'll have happen when you install the Mizer library directly through RStudio. But if you have a look on our GitHub repository, as in on this kind of website, you'll see there are many different versions that we've been working on with different features. So if you're interested in this side of it, well, you can check out the wiki where we try and explain something about what's going on with these different branches. So one of the things you've got here is a list of the development branches. So I'm not sure this is a complete list, but it at least gives some of these branches with quite a lot of useful files on them. So for example, there's this chai den sol branch where we have prey switching. That's a feature which we didn't include in the most recent update of Mizer, but basically it's an extra stabilization mechanism. Essentially, rather than assuming a sort of per capita mortality rates, which you multiply by the density of individuals to work out the proper death rate, we assume that the death rates might be some kind of slight superlinear function of the density of individuals. Okay, I think that's probably okay. It seems to think I need to install more about desolve and progress. So let's go to those and make sure they're installed. Progress. Desolve. Install. Now perhaps we can try again. Okay, that looks fairly encouraging. Looks like we've got Mizer running now through this GitHub repository. So if we go back to Git, see we're currently on the master branch, but there's these various other branches that we can access. So for me, I'm just doing some development work at the moment. So I'm going to this branch here and I'm making some files. This one, actually this one. Let's see if this actually runs. Hooray!